Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3, and we are back once again with True Rewind. I am with the funniest man on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, the savant of all reporting, Romeo Anthony Cologne,
Thank you. Good to be here.
as well as the ghetto Ivan Ooze, the drunk connoisseur of the True Hill YouTube channel and the host of Going Raw with his namesake himself. This is Drunk Guy JJ.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. It's a great night.
Absolutely. And this is episode 3 of True Rewind Monday Night War. This is where we go back from the start. We started with Monday Nitro, the first episode. Then our second episode, we took the first head-to-head matchup between Raw and Monday Nitro. And now this is the third episode, and we do it a little different. Now we're focusing on WCW's following show, which was the next pay-per-view, Fall Brawl 1995. Romeo, how did they kick off the show? Tell us a little bit about the how they introed this. Should be interesting.
All right, Fall Brawl 1995. The date was September 17th, 1995. Before we went on the air here, I looked up online, what was going on this time of the world. The number one song was "Gangsta's Paradise" by Coolio, and a famous NFL MVP Super Bowl champion quarterback was born on this day, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, wow.
Very interesting.
Wow.
That's how young.
I feel very old.
All right, Fall Brawl. We are in Asheville, North Carolina, Flair Country,
That's
at the
where
Asheville
Edge lives now. Rated R Superstar.
Asheville Civic. Oh, he does. Asheville Civic Center. 6,600 in attendance. No Mongo on commentary. We have Shivani and Heenan.
Show is already at a thumbs up.
So much, you would think that makes things so much better, man.
Tony explains that the Giant used his monster truck to destroy Hogan's motorcycle in the pre-show.
Yes, the prelude to a very infamous matchup, which we have to go back and watch now because of this True Rewind. Halloween Havoc 1995, and what was it called? The Monster Truck Sumo match?
Monster Mash or something like that. Monster Mash.
No, it was called like a Monster Truck Sumo match. It was called the Sumo match because the object of it was to force one monster truck across the circle like in the sumo.
Man, I can't wait for that. Hulk Hogan, by the way, looks so pissed off. You would think this isn't a guy that's gonna, try to attempted murder on The Rock later on in life.
The nerve of Hogan. Trying to kill a black man on live TV, and he's over here complaining about a damn monster truck.
Oh, that's not the only vehicular type of thing that he did do, but we're gonna have to watch for a while before we get to that.
Pop me kettle, Hogan. Pop me kettle.
We got the legendary Michael Buffer introducing as the announcer, and the first match is Flying Brian Pillman versus Johnny B. Bad. This is a number one contender match for the U.S. title. This goes to a 20-minute draw, goes into sudden death overtime, and the finish, double crossbody. Pittman looks like he does the more impact, yet Johnny rolls over and gets the pin. Johnny B. Bad wins in 29-59. Dave Meltzer gives this 4 stars. What did you guys think about this match?
It surprised the hell out of me. I know that much. Going into them like, Brian against Johnny B. Bad, Mark Miro. Okay. And it turned to be a great match, and they went damn near 30 minutes. A match could have been better, of course, because they made the finish that stupid crossbody shit. If they had a better finish, I would have put the match over the hump. But, it's WCW for you. So, what can you do?
Well, I have a couple of things. First of all, the intros. Why the hell did Michael Buffer... First of all, it's good that Michael Buffer was there because it added legitimacy to this as a number one contendership match. But why was this the only match Michael Buffer announced on the night?
That's it.
I'm just saying. That was my first thing.
True? I
But
didn't
it kind of
notice
made
that.
sense but it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because the best match of the night, so he didn't want to waste his time. So
Wow.
he saved
Exactly.
himself.
He had to hit the bricks. Pillman was booed at the start. I also put in my notes. I didn't like the ending of the time limit draw, the 20-minute time limit draw, because I think it was I think either Pillman or Bad go for
Bad. He went for a
like a
submission.
sleeper. Yeah, a rest hold. He didn't even go for like
when
a
they
real
announced
submission,
like how many minutes
Rest
were left.
how many minutes left? Like what?
Like to count off the seconds and the minutes, and he's like still in a rest hold, and it's just like, come on, dude, what are you doing? Are you trying to win here? So that was my one like negative of the match, but I love the match. It was a great back and forth match, a lot of technical wrestling, a lot of high flying. I like the finish. I like the finish because I got the point. I wish that, of course, we wish that B-Bad would have landed on Pillman, but B-Bad did catch Pillman. You saw the whole way he caught Pillman, caught the impact of Pillman, so that's how he was able to get the win there. But the finish was a nice one with them running the ropes. It looked great. It was a great finish, and I gave it 4.25 stars. I gave it a little bit more than Uncle Dave. I probably would have gone a little bit higher to 4.5 if it wasn't for that rest hold in like the 19-minute mark for no reason.
How many stars did you give it, Jaquan?
4. I would have gave it a 4.25.
I gave it 3.5. After watching the rest of the card, I probably would have bumped that up a bit much. We go backstage after that. We got a Ric Flair promo. He tells us of the symbol of excellence. Mean Gene asked a great question here. Do you hate Arn Anderson? And Ric Flair says, the problem is I love him. But I love him so much that tonight I got to show him why. Oh, my God. What did you guys think about this promo?
I have to go.
Does it better than Flair.
I have to go back to my positive and negatives thing, like the Michael Buffer. Like, yes, this was a great promo. But I already bought the show. Where was this promo the last 2 weeks on WCW?
Rather than Flair touching on Luger, putting him over for no reason on Monday.
Like where was this promo on the Go Home show? Like when Mean Gene introduces him, why did he spend 10 minutes fucking jerking off Lex Luger for no reason?
Awful. It must have been in Luger's contract, like I said. Next up, we have Cobra versus Sergeant Craig Pittman. Nice. Cobra comes out to some Morse code music. I wrote down here, RTC is rolling in their grave at this music. Tony tells us Cobra is a member of the CIA. Gives out his dog tag to a fan at ringside. And okay, let me just mention I am former military, Air Force. So anytime I see some military stuff going on in these wrestling shows and it's this corny, I am going to be offended. You do not give your dog tags out to random fans.
America.
Some private, some klutz, some dingleberry goes to the ring and distracts Cobra. Cobra's distracted for what seems like 5 minutes. Sergeant Pittman rappels down from the ceiling. Chokes Cobra from behind. Pittman, what a noble thing to do. Pittman wins by armbar in 1 minute, 22 seconds. What did you guys think about?
God damn, that was only 1 minute, 22 seconds?
Yes.
No, that felt like forever, man.
I think it was when the private came down and was distracting him. That was probably longer than the match.
Lord, oh man, next, get this out of here. Oh.
I was just thoroughly confused. This just seemed like I was just my only notes was who's the babyface. That's it. That's all I got. I gave 0 stars. I gave it 0
stars. Dud.
Yeah.
I gave it a dud too. Duds all around. We go backstage. We have a Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful segment. in which he does not seem to have his confidence. And Gary Spivey comes in.
This is my favorite part of this.
Take it
whole
away,
show.
Should love
SVP.
this.
Take it away, SVP. Take this segment away.
Got a Paul Orndorff vignette with him first being frustrated. Literally,
He doesn't feel wonderful anymore.
it's like minutes of him just going around the locker room, like tearing,
Looking at the mirror.
He's like a child. It's like ridiculous. And then he's losing his confidence in his locker room due to his recent losses. Then Gene Spivey of the Psychic Network. I don't remember this connection, but I marked out for this. Who tells him that he is Mr. Wonderful again, and then he looks in a mirror and tells himself that he is Mr. Wonderful repeatedly for about 5 minutes or so, and he kisses his arm, then he kisses himself in the mirror. His facial expressions throughout this are simply hilarious. My favorite part of the whole show.
The irony in that he kisses his arm and then the shits end up shrinking. It's crazy. It's crazy.
He's like a real life cartoon.
Next up, we have the WCW World Television Championship on the line. Diamond Dallas Page, DDP with Max Muscle and Diamond Doll versus Renegade with Jimmy Hart. Renegade to me looked like a poor man's Ultimate Warrior. I had to look him up online. I had no idea who he was.
Pretty much a poor man's Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, you pretty much
that's what you find.
Nailed it right on the head. Yeah, you nailed it right on the head.
I came across his bio, and it mentioned that he commits suicide at 33 years old after his release from WCW. Gunshot wound to the head.
Sadly, R.I.P. to him. Our condolences to his family, but it's not good to look back on his career. His career is just one big WCW attempt at the Ultimate Warrior that really failed.
But don't worry, guys. It gets worse with him towards, as we continue.
Oh, really?
So don't worry. Yes. One infamous promo cut on Renegade, actually. So it gets worse.
Can't wait. DDP wins in 8 minutes and 7 seconds with a diamond cutter, but I must say it was a dirty diamond cutter because the leg was held by Max Muscle. We have a new champ. What did you guys think of this match? I gave it 1.5 stars. Meltz gave it 2 stars.
1 star. It was whack.
You
got a poor man's Ultimate Warrior, so can't get worse than that.
I gave it 1 star as well. I also put in my notes that the Diamond Doll was the best part of this match, Kimberly Page.
Absolutely.
And she was not pleased with the post match here, with DDP winning the TV title, and she doesn't walk back with Page to the back with him and Max Muscle after the match. So I think this is a part of the whole DDP being like a Jeff Jarrett, Deborah type of WWF storyline. You guys remember?
Yes, the very young Kimberly Page that DDP met in a strip club. Very young, very young.
Indeed.
After this match, we got a great line from Bobby Heenan on commentary. You want to be rich, you watch what poor people do, and you don't do it.
Brain on commentary, one of the MVPs of this show.
We go right into the WCW World Tag Team Championships on the line. Harlem Heat with Sister Sherry versus the champs. Bunkhouse Buck and Dirty Dick Slater with Colonel Robert Parker. I don't know if you noticed during the entrance, the cameraman encouraging fans to boo. It was very shaky.
On top of more guys who are claiming to be from Harlem who are nowhere near from Harlem, but that's another story. I got a shot every time that.
Represent, Booker. Greatest representative of Harlem in professional wrestling.
The match ends with Sister Sherry making out with Colonel Parker in the second ring. The Nasty Boys run down, lay out Slater. Harlem Heat wins in 16 minutes, 51 seconds. They do not look pleased about how they won. That is another dirty finish. Meltz gave this -1 star. I gave this
With an
a
incompetent referee.
dud.
Let's leave it at that, too. Incompetent Nick Patrick.
Well,
That's weird.
As always. I didn't even put a star rating under my notes for this match, so I'm gonna guess I gave it 0 stars.
I think I started dozing off, so yeah.
I mean, you couldn't
0
get
stars.
two more opposite-looking teams. Harlem
Oh
Heat
my God.
should have wiped the mat with them in less
They
than
look
5
like
minutes.
a bunch of jobbers. Why the hell are you giving these guys almost 17 minutes to have a match?
Why are you doing rest holds in a 6-minute match? Like and the match, I didn't even see the finish of the match because it was too focused on Sherry and Colonel Parker.
And them kittens.
Yeah, I did. And
Yeah,
I actually
what the fuck?
did put my rating after I put the notes for the interview with Rob Parker, Bunkhouse Brawl, and Parker explaining how he fell in love with Sherry was probably the best part of this whole segment. But yeah, I gave it 0 stars.
You can't help who you love.
You can't help who you love. Colonel Rob, I missed you. Oh.
He does mention that he will get a rematch for Buck and Slater, which I am very fearful for. I hope it's not on this next Nitro we're gonna watch.
As long as it's 5 minutes or less than that, actually, I'll be fine with it. It's okay.
After this, we get a video package recapping the Arn Anderson and Ric Flair feud, which I desperately needed. We get a sighting. We get a sighting of the Queen, Charlotte Flair, in the video package. The Queen XT.
Oh,
very nice to see. Little gold nugget in case you missed it.
The Queen XT. Love the promo. Same thing I'll say about the Flair promo from earlier in the night. Where was it the last 2 weeks? I like their little segment on the first Nitro, but I think this promo would have added a lot after their segment on Nitro, which you were confused about, Romeo. So,
which also kind of now thinking about it made more sense. Like what Nitro was like only an hour when it first started. I feel like they tried to do too much and not focusing on the right things leading up to like especially the pay-per-views. You have a pay-per-view coming up. You guys having pointless segments and debuts and all that. You have to focus on the people you want them to buy your pay-per-view. Having only 3 matches advertised before heading into the fucking show, like, come on now.
And barely advertised in the third, so.
Exactly. We talked about they literally bring it up one time on the Nitro about the Pillman what's the name match. That's it. That's all we know.
Yep.
Pitiful.
We go right into Ric Flair versus Arn Anderson. Flair's entrance, I wrote down that he looked not cocky, he looked very serious about this match. Obviously, we're in Flair country. We see Flying Brian, Colonel Parker, Eddie Guerrero, Alex Wright, all in the crowd, giving this match a big fight feel.
Damn, a lot of dead people. Sheesh.
I wrote down a great point on commentary. I think it was by Heenan. He mentions Ric Flair was an 11-time champion, but never gave Arn Anderson a title shot.
Word. Heenan added so much. The commentary was great on this matchup.
We got a great spot. Ric Flair connects on a double axe handle from the top rope to the outside.
Rare.
Mark this moment down, folks, because you'll probably never see it again.
Like one more time, it's career.
The match ends with Flying Brian jumping on the apron, kicks Ric Flair in the head. Arn Anderson delivers a DDT, wins in 23 minutes and 5 seconds. That is the third dirty finish in a row on this show. I gave this match 3.25 stars. Dirty finish really sucked for me. Meltz gave us 3.5. What did you guys think about Ric Flair, Arn Anderson?
Definitely 3.5. Pretty good match. And this is towards, Arn not being, I would say Arn and Flair not really being able to do much in the ring. And especially more so Arn's career winding down, and for him to still have that. But I guess, as they always say, friends always work well together. And, they proved that right. Had a pretty good match. So definitely enjoyed it. Of course, another dirty finish that's unnecessary, but WCW.
Didn't need the dirty finish at all. And I seem to be rating these a little bit higher than Uncle Dave. I gave this one 3 3/4. I really liked the match up until the dirty finish and a little bit of
I probably would have
mistimed
got 3
stuff at the end.
3/4 if it wasn't for that. Honestly,
I would have gone 4 stars if it wasn't for the dirty finish. I don't think it
that type
really
of
needed
match,
that.
yeah, it didn't need that.
It
That
didn't-
type of match, like the feud heading into that didn't need that finish at all. It didn't.
Yeah.
But what can you
I
do?
mean, I know where it's leading to, so
I have no idea, so I'm hoping there's some kind of rematch in the future, but don't spoil it for me, guys.
Well, you'll see soon enough. We'll see.
Hoping
We'll
that's
see.
why there was a dirty finish.
All I'm gonna tell you is that this feud is gonna conclude next month at Halloween Havoc 1995.
Okay, we get a Dungeon of Doom video package that I wrote down was very cringe, very cartoonish. Hogan talking about how he felt Andre in his face, just fucking terrible.
Oh man, fuck Hulk Hogan. But anyway,
Then after that, we go backstage. We have Sting, Macho Man, Lex Luger, and Hulk Hogan interviewing with Mean Gene Okerlund, all in camo war paint. Mean Gene likens this to the invasion of Normandy in 1945, which I groan at. There's a lot of awkward handshakes, hugs, and high fives, pumping each other up. Macho Man is great in this segment. Just watch Macho Man in this interview. Just watch it.
I don't understand how Macho Man on the Go Home Show to Nitro and then this backstage segment, he's around some of the biggest stars that's ever been in wrestling. Sting, Sting, the face of WCW. Hulk Hogan, the face of professional wrestling. Lex Luger was Lex Luger. But Macho Man, but Lex Luger looks like Lex Luger, though, at that time. But Macho Man knows how to stand out and above everyone else around him. It's just amazing. I just love Macho Man. I love
he was the best out the 4 anyway, so.
These early Nitros, honestly, Macho Man's been the MVP for me. Their early WCW, the first couple of shows we've watched, he's been the MVP overall.
By the way, I did not write down the context, but Hulk Hogan mentions DTA, don't trust anybody. Which we know a certain bald-headed son of a bitch from Texas will go on to use very much.
Stole it right.
Son of a bitch from Florida.
Oh, Steve Austin was watching this, huh?
Was he fired yet?
Yeah, I think he was in ECW. Or no, I think he was going to WWE at this time. Towards the end of
95? Okay.
Yeah.
I know he came to WWE early 96, so maybe he was like doing his last stuff for ECW and then got to WWE.
He's one of those guys that came into the forefront like 95, but I think he was still in ECW, still working those ECW shows.
Damn, Vince was racking up people too, man. Stole Vader out of Austin.
Yeah, he got Hunter in 95 too.
Yep.
What do you mean he stole Vader? I thought Vader was just AWOL.
Getting him. He's like, you can have Luger. It's okay. It's all right. Have Luger. I got these guys.
Lex Luger for Vader. Is that a fair trade?
That's pretty much what it seems like, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what it pretty much. Because we had Luger come in on the first show, then literally this next show, Vader's AWOL. So literally, it's like
we got trades in the Monday Night War.
You're gonna bring Luger on your debut show. I'm gonna take Vader from you. He's AWOL now. I just ruined your war games. Go get Vince.
All right, the war games cage comes down to some awesome pyro. I think Tony mentions the sounds of war. Another groan from me. War games rules only win by surrender or submission. An added stipulation is mentioned that if Hogan's team wins, Hogan gets 5 minutes. No, not even 5 minutes. Hogan just gets Taskmaster in the ring. Then we've got War Games, the Dungeon of Doom, Meng, Kamala, Shark, Zodiac, with the one-word names were cool back in the day. With the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, versus the Hulkamaniacs, Hogan, Sting, Macho, Lex Luger. We start with Sting and Shark. I wrote down here, why would you put the worst conditioned man on your team to go first?
Because who is the best conditioned guy on that?
Damn sure not Shark.
Damn sure not Shark.
But no, yeah, he is. He is actually. Look at everybody else.
The man couldn't even get up off the floor on Monday after the 3 count. What?
You
I would
probably would have said, no, Meng don't want to work like that. Meng don't want to take bumps. He don't want to take bumps.
Do your job, Meng.
Ain't no bumps in this match.
Yeah,
Ain't no bumps in this match.
But Meng don't want to work that long. He don't want to. He was the last guy in. And
Poor Shark.
I'm glad none of y'all said Kamala or Zodiac though. Y'all know
absolutely not. Imagine. Oh my God, we had to sit through Kamala starting the match.
Zodiac is out next, of course, as the heels are up 2-1 thanks to the coin flip.
That's usually every War Games.
Followed by Savage, Kamala, Luger. Luger ends up hitting Savage by mistake. They start fighting.
Shocker.
Meng comes in. Hogan is obviously last. Hogan throws what looks like napalm in everyone's eyes. It's just salt.
I think it's where I started to fall asleep too, man.
A lot of punches and back rakes. The Hulkamaniacs win in 18 minutes, 43 seconds as the Zodiac taps to a very anticlimactic camel clutch from Hulk Hogan. Meltz gave this 1/4 of a star. I gave this -1 stars. What did you guys think?
I gave it half a star, only because I fell asleep, so I don't remember the ending. So I'll be generous and give it some type of love. What about you, good brother Sid?
I gave it a half star.
Okay, so
Sting. That's for the effort of Sting being in there from the start. He deserves some recognition from being there in the start. Macho Man was Macho Man in this match. I like the little interplay between Macho Man and Luger with the dissension, but yeah. The only thing that was worse than that was after the match.
Oh, here we go. The Taskmaster is forced back into the ring. He is beaten up by Hogan. And then we get the Giant come down, and he snaps Hulk Hogan's neck. The Hulkamaniacs come out to check on Hogan. Hogan looks in bad shape. Looks like he's murdered. The show ends with Bobby Heenan's laughter.
Oh, man.
It's the last thing we hear, which I was laughing to.
How the hell did 7'4" Paul White slowly walk down the aisleway, get in the cage, get in one ring, get in another ring, attack Hulk Hogan, beat him down, twist his neck before any of the Hulkamaniacs came out to make the stage? That shit. And this was supposed to be 5 minutes or a match. There was no bell. There was no referee. What the fuck was this?
Oh, man.
Why? Why have it? Why have it if this was what we were going to get? I know it sets up the next month. I know next month we got Giant versus Hulk Hogan for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, as well as the sumo truck, monster truck sumo. We'll find out the game. We're gonna watch. Oh man, I was good for most of this episode. I didn't curse most of this episode, but this why promote the whole 5 minutes if all we're gonna get is a beatdown of Hulk Hogan? Why? Or at least have Giant attack somebody else from the Hulkamaniacs to explain why they don't stop him. Like, no one stops him. Like, they just, okay, Hogan's got Taskmaster. Let's go pack our bags. Let's go home,
Let's go home. Let's go home.
Let's go home, fellas. This is us.
All right, let's wrap up this show. Let's first start with the checking the Dirty Finish Counter. We had 3 tonight, which makes 6 in 3 weeks. Dirty finishes galore.
All
Match of the night. Huh?
All WCW, right?
Yes. Just in WCW. The WWF's got their own counter. Match of the night, I had Bad Pillman. What did you guys have as a match of the night?
Same, Bad Pillman.
Same all across the board. Pillman and Bad, they showed out. They stole the show. In the opener, unfortunately. But Flair and Anderson was really good.
MVP, I had Ric Flair. Who did you guys have?
MVP? I gotta go with Flair. Great promo leading into the match. And he won his match. Go figure.
I have actually 3 names here. So
I would put Johnny B. Bad and Pillman too for MVP for actually.
I think we're gonna encourage these guys to be the tiebreaker for me, because I have 3 people in the MVP. So we're gonna encourage people to put down in the comment section below who I should pick as my MVP for Fall Brawl. But I have Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Honestly, I think you should just keep all 3 of them as MVP, because my LVP is 5 people. The entire Dungeon of Doom. Sullivan, Kamala, Meng, Shark, Zodiac. I hate this faction. I want them to go away. They are terribly cartoonish. Leave that cartoon shit that you're trying to be different from WWF. Leave it to them. Who did you guys have as your LVP?
Now that you say it, I would say Dungeon of Doom, bunch of hot garbage. Yeah. Actually, the jobbers that Harlem Heat beat, since they made us waste 17 minutes of my life that I'll never get back.
Bunkhouse. No, don't talk about Bunkhouse bunk like that. Bunkhouse bunk.
And dirty dick.
Dirty dick. My LVP, I mean, we did touch on that he did commit suicide earlier in this. Our condolences once again.
Just reporting the news. The news.
We have nothing to do with this. Trust me.
We're in a DeLorean back to 1995. We don't know this yet, and the LVP is Renegade. That match was pretty bad, and I don't blame DDP for it.
Ouch.
And this is the point of the show where we give a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the WCW Fall Brawl. Now, I think that's an easy one. Scale out of 1 out of 10, guys. I give this a 2.
3. No, not 3. You got a 4-star match, and then you got a damn near a 4-star match. So you got to be a little generous.
I will not. You know what? Okay. 2.4.
The main event, the whole Army thing and the tag titles match dragged down those 2 really good matches.
All right, 2.4 for me. 2.4. And that's all for WCW Fall Brawl. SB3, you want to take us out here?
Yes, put your comments down below. Let us know what you thought about Fall Brawl 1995 or our review, and if you gave it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Push the like button if you enjoyed this video. Push the subscribe button and push the bell to stay notified. We appreciate all your support and appreciate your support watching True Rewind. So, for the Ghetto Ivan himself, Drunk Guy JJ, 4.
You know they actually sell that stuff, man? Ivan Ooze?
Yeah, of course.
I was like, what? And it sold out.
For the conductor of reporting, Romeo, Anthony Colon. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been True Rewind, Monday Night War, Episode 3, Fall Brawl, signing off.